Okay, this video is going to be bonsai-ish. It's not exactly anything to deal with developing a bonsai, styling a bonsai, caring for a bonsai. This is one that you're probably going to encounter sometime in your bonsai career, either shipping a bonsai as a gift to somebody, a parent or a friend or somebody that you met, or selling one on eBay or some other way that you sell a tree. You're going to need to safely ship it. And I've encountered this a number of times when I was shipping my bonsai trees. So I'm just going to go over the method I use to ship my trees. I've had really good success with it, and kind of go over some of the strategies that I use as far as when to ship, how to ship, and then of course how to pack these things so that they arrive to the destination just like they look when you put them in the box. Of course, there's a lot of things that can break on a bonsai. Probably the most challenging thing is to actually protect the pot. The tree is one thing that it has a little bit of flexibility, has a little bit of movement, and if you break a branch, it's not a big deal. But the pot is so fragile. That's where you're gonna really maybe get the biggest chips or damage to the bonsai pot. Make sure that you don't water the day that you're shipping. As you know, shipping weight is what you are charged on. If you fill this thing full of water and then put it into a box, you're going to probably add 1 or 2 pounds to the shipping weight, and it's just going to cost you more to get it there. If you had the choice to either ship it a little bit damp to dry compared to heavy and wet, and then use an expedited service, I'd go with the expedited service. Just get it there, get it quick, and get it out of the box, and then they can water when it gets to the destination. So the first thing you're going to look at is you want to get you need to stabilize everything so when it ships, there's no movement, and the soil stays intact, the roots aren't disturbed, and it ships as solid as you can possibly make it. So what I usually do is I wire the tree into the pot. All you're doing is simply sending maybe a 1 millimeter wire, make a U, sign it up through the drain holes, bring it up over the top, and then just secure the tree into the pot. Once that's done, you need to secure the soil. So what I usually do is I get some damp paper towels, and again, this has been watered yesterday. It's not going to get watered today. It's still damp. I can feel how heavy it is. It still has quite a bit of moisture with the roots, and this tree's not going to dry out while it's in shipping. So what I do is I get damp paper towels, and what I'll do is I'll fold them up and cover the entire surface of the soil. If your soil level is below the lip of the pot, you're going to want to add enough paper towels to get this so it's over the lip of the pot. You need to make it higher than the ridge of the pot so that when you compress it down, it's actually holding the soil in. You don't want any of this moving during transportation. And I put this all the way up along the roots and all the way up the minabari, just to get it in there nice and tight. Because also you don't want to have any areas where the soil can drain out. I always go with the assumption that no matter how well I pack this, somebody's going to ship this thing upside down. So that's what I actually look at. That's why I pack it the way I do. You can pick these up at Office Depot or Office Max, anything like that. They're just a shrink wrap, or a stretch wrap, almost like a saran wrap, and you can use saran wrap as well. This one just makes it very simple. And all I do is just go over the entire surface, maybe 6 or 7 times, just to get it in there nice and tight. And it's always good to have someone to help you out with this, but I'm just going to struggle through real quick. And there you go. And that tree can be held in there upside down without any problems. So what you've got now, this is one piece. There's no loose gravel, there's no loose soil. The tree's not budging whatsoever. That thing is going to be nice and solid during transportation. So now what we need to do is we need to secure the bonsai pot so that it doesn't crack during transit. And what I'll do is I'll bring it up along the edges, and you can either tape this in place, or you can take the wrap again and wrap it in here really nice and tight. And what that's going to do is it's going to make the base of this thing look like a little balloon. So if it does hit anything hard, it's just going to bounce right off. Okay, so now what you've got is a perfectly encapsulated bonsai pot with a little bit of bounce to it. That way you can absorb some shock. and it's a good way to protect the entire tree. So at this point, what I've got is I've got a watertight, padded, secure tree. So this thing is ready for transport. Of course, you're going to need to put this into a box, and I add a little bit of padding to that as well. Give yourself at least 2 inches all the way around at your furthest points, and a nice sturdy box is the way to go. Get yourself something that's not been beat up. Maybe a double wall or triple wall if you can find it is probably the best way to get it there safely. And all I do is again add more padding to the bottom of the box, especially where the bonsai pot's going to sit. That's the most fragile part of this thing. So you set the tree in, and it just kind of sits almost like in a little bird's nest right in there. So what we've got is we've got a tree that's going to sit perfectly, going to ride real nice. And then to secure this thing, again, what you can do is you can either put some straps to the bottom of into the cardboard box around the top of it to hold it in place. I like to just pack this full of peanuts, very, very tight. Given this box is a little bit too short, but I usually give maybe a couple inches on the top of the box, and just pack the rest of the tree with peanuts. Pack it in completely, so you don't want this thing moving at all, because again, go under the assumption that at some point during this transit, the shipping person or the handling person is going to either have it laying on its side, hang it upside down, and that's either going to cause any water to drain out or cause the tree to shift. So just kind of make sure that you make this thing so it doesn't move. And with just those little precautions, this tree is going to arrive safely to its destination. One note about the peanuts: there are biodegradable peanuts, so be careful not to use those ones, because when they touch water, they dissolve. So what happens during transportation, if there's a little bit of moisture or a little bit of water gets out from inside the tree itself, it just causes those peanuts to dissolve and turn into like a pasty substance. And then once they're gone, the tree's just rattling around inside the box. Always ship early in the week, Monday or Tuesday, so it gives the time for the shipment to arrive during that same week. Otherwise, if you ship later in the week, it's going to sit over the weekend, and you don't want a tree sitting in the box that long. So make sure that you get it to the destination as quick as possible. Some trees can handle ground transportation because they're not going to dry up during that period. Ficus is not a problem, Chinese elm, something like that. But other trees, maybe like a bald cypress, you want to do a quicker or more expedited service to get it there, just because they need the water flow. Buttonwood would be the same kind of thing, something that really needs a lot of water. So pay attention to what you're shipping, where you're shipping to, and check out the transit times, and just make sure that your tree is well secured and well watered prior to actually putting it into a box and getting it out.